Hi Angels, Miss Quiet Queen. I just wanted to come and do a real quick video to remind us of something that was standing out in my mind for a long, long time. And that is getting back with nature. But before I get into all that, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who donated to my channel. You know, I am no longer supported by YouTube, and they have made it really difficult for me to get support or earnings from YouTube. So I appreciate all of you who have helped. I managed to have I bought tripods. I bought 3. I have another little small camera that I needed for certain angles and when I'm going certain places and my phone isn't enough. I also was able to get a couple of memory cards. So I still need computer, and I need another laptop. A few other things. I need a backdrop. I need more memory sticks, and I need a editing program, a really good editing program for people like myself. But anyway, nonetheless, I appreciate everybody for helping and for donating, for those that did and those who wanted to but couldn't. Thank you anyway. Your appreciation is appreciated. All right, so let's talk about getting back to nature. What I mean by that is have some animals around. Get a dog, get a cat, get a turtle, get a hamster, get some kind of animal. This is what energy is telling me to tell everyone. Get some type of animal. Get close to God's creature. You can communicate with the animals. You can communicate with the elements, the trees, the blades of grass, all these things you can definitely communicate with. And the animals are willing to help us, but we have to be the ones to go to them because they can't come to everybody and say, hey, they know that they can communicate with us, but we don't know that. As humans don't know that. Okay, so you guys, please remember that learning about nature is important. Now, another thing that I have been shown was that the powers that be are really, y'all see that floating through the air? The powers that be are really striving to get the animals to turn against us. Some people more than others. Just figure that out. They don't want you to know anything about nature. They don't want some of us to do certain sports involving outdoors because they just want to keep you docile to all that. Get a pet. Get some type of animal. I don't like to hear people say they don't like animals. It's so sad, really. When you say you don't like animals, you're saying, I don't like Mother Nature. I don't like how she created herself. I don't like how she created us. I don't like when, the countries over in the Middle East, like Pakistan and Dubai and Iran and Iraq, you notice how they treat their women? It's kind of like the same concept. When they say that they don't like women or they treat women like cattle and worse than dogs, like third-class citizens, they hate the womb they come from. How are you going to be born of the woman and turn around and hate her? I just never understood that. I am supposed to just bring this up to get us to think about these things. Spread the word. It's time for female liberation. The elementals are at force. They do want to help. They do understand. There's a lot of movements that's going to be going on. I told you all about this before. We are entering the age of the movement. And what is the movement? The movement is about all other movements. There are a lot of movements that are going to start. Movements involving people in the judicial system, specifically in prison. There's going to be movement. There's definitely going to be a racial movement, but it's going to be peaceful. There's going to be movement to help eradicate white guilt because of a lot of things that we're moving through racially. We are approving in a lot of things. This is one of the things that the powers that be don't want to happen. Our world truly is getting peaceful, but it seems like it isn't because they'll throw out false news to confuse you. Okay, but don't let that confuse you. So it is a lot peaceful. And they do things like, encourage men beating on women, as you can see. Just try to start little race wars or just confusion. We can't let that confuse us because the world is getting a lot better. So, yeah, the world is getting a lot better. But unfortunately, the powers that be do not want us to improve on that. So come together and get an animal. See if you can wherever you live, because they're going to help us. Keep an open mind when you do this. There's going to be a lot of things, a lot of other movements. I'm trying to remember everything I was supposed to be talking to you all about. It's just, when I get the downloads, they come so fast. But there are a lot of movements that are going on, and I want you all to understand that there is a lot of work to do. But don't feel bad if there's a movement that comes along and it's just not your cup of tea. I'd rather for you to be involved in a movement that's near and dear to you. There's so many things that we can do, but it is helpful if you can join more than one movement. Okay, we get things done faster. The biggest thing that we need to do is to change our diet. It's the download that I'm getting right now, myself included. Be more strict on our diet. Okay, in order to move into this 5D realm, we really do need to give up the meat. When we move on, we won't need the meat, or there will be flesh that we can consume that's a lot healthier. I've mentioned in other videos that many thousands of years ago, cattle looked forward to being part of the cycle of life. There was a ancient fish I also talked about. I nicknamed them the hush mammal. I'm not going to get into that right now, or the hush fish. And they were beautiful, purple and silver. And they used to just swim up to your feet and just flop down at your feet in hopes that you would take them and harvest them. Unfortunately, evilness took over, and a lot of that has changed. We are looking forward to getting back to that again. Do some research on ancient history. Understand that the history that you see now, when they're talking about Egypt and Ethiopia and all of these darker countries, when I say darker, I mean darker melanated countries, notice that what the face that they put on it, just know that there's a lot of confusion and covering up the truth. Sometimes the truth hurts. Love hurts. Whoever said that love's supposed to be easy all the time? Whoever said the truth would always be taken, with a grain of salt and it's no problem? The truth hurts. Love hurts. It all stings. So sometimes you just have to stand up straight and go through the pain. And going through it, you are learning to understand exactly what it is. I'm saying this about all subjects to all people. There's a lot of things going down right now. Wake up. Wake up, humanity. It's very important. Stay in the light.